What's up, YouTube, and what is new in gaming this week? I'm about to tell you. This is going to be a two-parter. It's a bit of a longer video, but it's two parts. If you don't care about one or the other, you can just skip ahead. I will put a link. So first topic we're going to discuss is the HTC Vive. I've had it for about a week now. I've got to play around with it extensively. I've had friends over that have also tried it and greatly enjoyed it. And the second topic is going to be Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I'll put a link right about here. So if you only care about Deus Ex, go ahead and click that link. It'll take you right to the Deus Ex part of this video. If you care about the Vive, that's coming up in just a second. As soon as I'm done talking, it will be the Vive first impressions. So there you go. That's what I've been up to. Hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so we'll get right into it. And my first impressions of the Vive. I've had this for pretty much a week and a weekend now, give or take. I've had time to try pretty much all the free things, and I did buy a couple of things. And just going to give you guys my honest opinion. Is it worth the full retail amount, which is, if you're in the US, $800, I believe. If you're in Canada, it goes up to $1,000. Call it $1,003 after taxes and then a bit of change. Now, obviously, what you're going to be seeing is me playing a couple of Vive games. You obviously won't get the full effect for me or anyone with the headset on. It is a full 3D experience. What makes the Vive different from the Oculus Rift is you get these two motion controllers that do actually work surprisingly well. They are fully replicated in 3D inside the Vive headset, and they are basically one-to-one or almost, to the point where the initial setup will tell you to put them on the floor turned on and then put on the headset, and you kind of wonder for a second, well, how the hell am I going to get the controllers? And lo and behold, you turn around and you can clearly see the controllers on the floor, and you pick them up. I grabbed them first try, no problem. Like anything else, the thing with the Vive is the content is what's going to make it. You can see me here. I'm playing Hot Dogs. Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. It's probably one of my favorite. It is a very early access title. That being said, it does actually work really well for what it is. It is more or less just a virtual shooting range. You don't see it in this video, but you can spawn loads of different kind of guns. There's shotguns, SMGs, assault rifles, pistols, of all kinds. It feels really good. It looks really good. Again, you guys are just seeing a 2D representation. If you are fully in the game, it is fully 3D, fully virtual. You can see me there. I'm picking up the guns, and you have to reload them. You do have to kind of know what you're doing with firearms. It is pretty realistic for a video game and for a simulation. But yeah, that being said, my first impressions, to be honest with you guys, the screens are a little bit lower res than I was expecting and what I was hoping. I have looked quickly and I just saw the 1080. So I was kind of expecting it to be a full 1080p in each eye, but it is actually 1200 by 1080p in each eye, which you are getting that 1080, but that first number, if you're on a 1080 screen, 1080p screen, it is 1920 by 1080 if I'm not mistaken, so a little bit lower. That being said, you kind of get over that, and just the fact that everything is actual virtual reality, and depending on what you're playing, again, because the content is what's going to generate your experience, it's not bad, and you like I said, you kind of forget it, you kind of notice it. Other things, it's kind of really in your face. The screen door effect is kind of there. Again, it depends on the title. Here I'm playing The Lab, which is basically just a set of quick demo things from Valve themselves. You don't notice it at all in this, really. Other things, I tried the Star Wars Trials on Tatooine, which really, it's free, but to be honest with you guys, there's nothing to it. You do a couple of things and it's over before you even realize the scrolling Star Wars credits at the start are longer than the actual quote-unquote game itself. like I said, the controls feel great. The headset is comfortable to wear. You do feel it. It does tend to press a little bit on my cheekbones, but you kind of want it as tight as possible. So you kind of have to deal with that. It's not uncomfortable, but you will know that you always feel that you're wearing it. There is like always a kind of slight pressure on your face, for me anyway. But there you go. That being said, it also creates a seal because you want it to be as dark as possible. You don't want to be able to see the outside world around the headset. It does a great job at that. The only problem with that is, well, it's summer here. It's very humid. It does tend to fog up after a while. And in the best of conditions, it won't fog up. But you do end up with kind of a sweaty face, to say the least. They do give you one extra foam piece for the headset. You're probably going to need that after a while, depending on how much you're using this. I was just playing back and forth with my brother on the weekend, trying a couple of games, just taking turns, whatever. And yeah, you do kind of notice that you take it off for a minute, you try to put it back on. It's nice and wet and cold on the foam. I kind of wish they had planned it a little bit better for some ventilation, but hey. The setup procedure is very simple. Download some software, it walks you through everything. Download the software for the actual Vive, do the setup, and away you go. Super simple. I do wish they would have, because the headset does have two adjustments that they do not go over at all in the tutorial, and I kind of wish they did. There is a knob on the side of the headset to adjust the width between the two lenses. And then kind of hidden, also I ended up having to Google this, but the two rubber rings where the straps connect to the sides of the Vive, if you pull those out, you can then turn those knobs back and forward to adjust how far away from your eyes or how close to your eyes the lenses actually are. It took me a while. The picture was kind of blurry for me by default. I was kind of disappointed, just thought maybe that's how it was. Googled it quickly, and yeah, someone said, hey, just adjust the back and forth on the lenses and make sure that the width between the two is adjusted, and it will make a world of difference, and it did. So to me, I brought the lenses a bit closer to my eyes. I've got 20/20 vision. Don't ask me how they set it up, but I had to bring it closer. It just made everything clearer. And then also brought the lenses further apart. I'm an adult. I guess this thing is meant for kids to adults, so I had to bring the lenses further apart. Just quickly here, you're seeing me play one of the games in Steam Lab. It's called like Zertex or something like that. It looks simple enough. It's basically just a shmup, but you're playing it in full 3D. Your controller is basically that little ship that you keep seeing come on and off screen here, because I'm kind of looking around to see what's coming. It's really well done. It really impressed me. This is one of the first things I tried, and it really, really impressed me. For a free demo, it seems like a full shmup game that they could have probably easily sold for like $5 on the sides. But yeah, so yeah, is it worth it? If you have the money and you don't mind being an early adopter, because that's the other thing, like I said, for horseshoes, hot dogs, and hand grenades, and most of the other things, these are all tech demos or early access games. Horseshoes, hot dogs, the dev is very active. He keeps adding stuff. There are weekly updates. He's adding guns, he's adding modes, he's adding things. But that being said, it's early access. If you go back to the start of the video, you'll see where I show the full menu of what you can actually play. Some of them are marked as WIP. WIP means work in progress. It's stuff that he's currently working on. It's not finished. I haven't run into any major bugs in that game, but you can tell it's still a work in progress at times. Very polished work in progress, but it is still a work in progress. That being said, it's still one of my favorite experiences. Other stuff I've tried is the zombie training survival thing. It's alright. I tried an escape the room thing that I paid like $5 for. Again, it was alright. I kind of wish it would have been a little bit cheaper, but I can understand. No regrets. I had fun for like the 2 hours we played it. Bunch of other stuff. Looking forward to stuff coming. I'm looking forward to Steam sale so I can grab way more stuff. But yeah, there you go, Vive. So is it worth it? It depends. If you have the money and you are cool with being an early adopter, yeah, it's probably the best VR experience you're going to get right now. I tried the Gear VR on Samsung. That thing made me nauseous like you wouldn't believe. Vive, not at all. Way clearer, way better picture. I haven't tried the Oculus, like all things being fair, but without the motion control, it just doesn't seem like there'd be much point right now. And by the time they release it, I don't know. So yeah, if you have the money, yes. If you don't want to be an early adopter, I would honestly tell you guys, wait till Christmas. I kind of feel they're probably going to drop the price for Christmas, at least a little bit. Wait for there to be more games for it too. For me, there's enough to keep me occupied. This was just kind of a nice toy that I got for myself for my birthday. For anyone else, like I said, I would recommend you just wait till there's a bit more content, and they'll probably drop the price by Christmas, if not by next summer for sure. But that being said, it is very good. It is very impressive for what it is. My favorite thing of the Vive is just getting new people to try it and just seeing the smile on their face and hearing them go like, wow, this is amazing. There you go. That's my first Vive impression after a week of use. Expect probably game reviews and stuff for it as I get new content. Alright, and on to Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Just to be completely honest with you guys before we start this review, I do actually know a few people that work at Eidos and that did actually work on this game. That being said, this video is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. This is just my honest opinion. I honestly couldn't care less who worked on something. If it's garbage, I will tell you guys it's garbage. If it's great, I'll tell you guys it's great. If it's somewhere in between, I will be honest and I'll tell you that it's somewhere in between. I bought this game with my own money. This is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. So, let's get started. Deus Ex Mankind Divided. How is it compared to all the other games? Now, I've played pretty much every single entry in the Deus Ex series from the original back in the 90s, I believe, late 90s, which is among one of my top games of all times. I've also played Deus Ex Invisible War, which was Deus Ex 2, which is probably one of the crappiest game of all times. I played Human Revolution when that came out I played that on 360. That was a decent game. It had a lot of flaws, but it was a decent game. It was playable. I think they kind of admitted to the flaws and made a director's cut that I hear fixed most of the flaws. I haven't played it. I can't comment. Where does Mankind Divided fall among all the others? Well, it's somewhere in between, but it is a lot closer to the original game. It's not quite as good for me, but it's up there. Like I said, I picked this up with my own money. I bought this, honestly, mostly because I have nothing else new to play right now, other than my Vive, which you guys saw at the beginning. And I'm not regretting it. It is a pretty good game. It's got its flaws, but overall, it's a very good game. Very nicely polished. I haven't had any graphical glitches. I haven't had any crashes. It runs pretty smoothly. The faults, like you can see here, as I'm looking around in the environment, the strength and the flaws of the game are both, they kind of overlap, okay? So the strength and the flaws is two things for me are the biggest flaws in this game, is that one, they give you too much guidance, and two, they give you absolutely no guidance. Now what I mean by that, they give you too much guidance in the sense, like you see right now, there's a dot in the environment telling me exactly where I have to go, step by step, chunk by chunk. That's too much guidance. Just tell me and show me on the map, let me figure it out. I prefer that. Too much guidance as well. Every single item you can interact with is highlighted in bright white, and then on top of that, when you get to it, you get a prompt telling you press X to interact. I know, I've done it like 5 million times. It just brings me out of the immersion when I have to do that. Not enough guidance. Tutorials are sparse. I still don't know how to, for example, put stuff into my storage. It's never really explained. If it is, I completely missed it. there's a bunch of other stuff that I had to just Google because like I want to sit down, I want to play a game. I don't want to have to go through menus. I don't want to have to figure stuff out. So in that sense, not enough guidance. You get objectives telling you to take stuff out, but then you have no idea what the hell you're looking for. You don't even get the objective markers on your map, which is fine, but I mean, for a game that's going to give me a bright yellow indicator for each chunk of the map to get me to the objective, once I get there sometimes it's just have fun, figure it out. And sometimes that's fun, sometimes it's just kind of frustrating. So there you go, that's the strength and weakness of the game. There's too much hand-holding in some aspects and just not enough in others. What you're looking at right now is the single player. The story is very complete. I'm playing on Xbox One. The load times they range from kind of acceptable to very much way too long. I'll probably bring up the map at some point, but I mean, the starting area of the map looks like a two-parter. There's no way to get there except by train. I was trying to figure out how the hell you got across this big wall that's separating basically down half the city. And finally I just gave up and like, well, I'll just continue on the mission. I guess I'll figure it out at some point. And lo and behold, by taking the train, you get to the second part. That train is a long load time. You know, it is what it is, but yeah, it's a very long load time. A lot of cutscenes are also very long. At some point, it's like, I get it. Let me. It seems stupid, but like, let me at least be in control of walking around so I feel involved. Don't give me like a 5-10 minute cutscene where my character's walking by himself talking to someone. It just, again, it takes you out of it. The story's great so far. I haven't completed the game, but the story is great so far. Here you see I just went to a story mission and I just got a level, which gives you a Proxys pack, something like that, which is basically an upgrade. Here you're looking at all the augmentations that are possible. The grayed out ones are that I haven't taken them yet. The yellow ones, I believe, are passive. I could be wrong, it could be the opposite. There's green and yellow. One I think is supposed to tell you that it's passive, the other one is supposed to tell you that it's active. I'm not quite sure. Again, it's not even really explained more than, hey, you got a praxis point, go in here and pick something. The ones that are kind of like glitchy old TV screens are special augmentations. I won't spoil anything. If you want to find out, play the game. It's part of the story. So yeah, there are a lot of choices, but the game also does something else that I really don't like. It does that Metroid thing where you start off, you've got basically every single AUG. It's showing you like to go through the, I guess essentially the tutorial first mission. And then, well, oh, you're damaged and you just lost all your AUGs. But fear not, you're going to go to a doctor, he's going to fix you up. Again, not a big spoiler, it happens in literally the start of the game.
I was here working when the first reports came in.
Which is fine, but then he tells you stuff happens, you get a cutscene, and when you come out, well, it looks like it reset all your AUGs. And, well, some of them just seem to be the basic things where you just get it because you are an augmented human.
He's using the NSM right now.
Yeah,
I assumed some of them were just
that reminds me, here's yours.
givens, and it turned out they weren't. So I lost the ability to double jump.
Card for the shooting range.
I lost the ability to punch through walls.
About only giving
I lost a bunch of other stuff, not realizing that I had lost it, and I put my points in stuff that sounded good to me. And it is good for the context. It's just a couple of things like the high jump and punching through walls. I just figured would be a given, and it was not. Now again, probably my fault. I probably should have paid more attention when I was doing it. But there you go. It's kind of overcomplicated, and then some of the stuff you're looking for, you kind of have to go through and like, oh, I think that should be a leg thing. Maybe it's no, okay, maybe, oh, wait, okay, no, it's a separate thing on the side. It could have been made a little bit clearer. That's all I'm going to say. There's nothing innately wrong with it. It just could have been slightly clearer. Here's another ability that I took. Again, seems like it should have just been a given. It's not. It's called the Icarus something or other. It basically negates fall damage. It's one I took right away as soon as I realized they took it off because it saves you a lot of time. If you've got a very long ladder, just jump down and you're good. But we're going to wrap this up very quickly because we're coming up to the 10-minute mark, and I know you guys probably don't like hearing me talk for half an hour at a time. So Deus Ex Mankind Divided, story-wise, great game. Visuals are great. I can't say anything bad about the visuals. It's typical next-gen graphics. Great job. It feels like you're in the future. It looks futuristic. It gets its points across, visually speaking. Sound design is great. Level design so far is pretty good. It's got that classic original Deus Ex thing of if you can't go through a door, there's probably a vent or some other way, or climbing up on the roof. There's always some way to get somewhere, and usually multiple ways. But there you go. Would I recommend this game? Definitely. It's if you played Human Revolution and you enjoyed it, no-brainer. Pick this up. You will have a great time. It feels like it's going to be a pretty lengthy game too. I've got quite a few hours into it, and I'm still going, still enjoying doing all the side missions, which you do have to find. There's apparently not that many, so it's worth doing all of them. Yeah, it's just a really good, solid kind of shooter RPG game so far. So yeah, highly recommend this. If you can look past it, a few of its flaws, it's just you have to be paying attention more than anything. I guess that's, like I said, probably my own fault. I kind of like to turn my brain off sometimes when I'm gaming, and you can't really do this with this one. You have to be paying attention. Some of the story stuff is a bit lengthy. Great story, by the way, like I said. But yeah, highly recommended. If you enjoy shooters, you enjoy RPGs, you enjoy a mix of both. Deus Ex Mankind Divided.